Hey, I just want to remind you guys, In Your Corner, a movie I directed on Floyd Mayweather and Sam Watson, is out now on Vimo.com. In Your Corner, click the link in the description box. Uh, and I would genuinely love and appreciate you guys' support. And don't don't hesitate to leave a comment and let me know what you thought of the film. And again, I appreciate you guys' support and enjoy the video. Peace. Barbershop conversation, guys. I'm glad I woke y'all motherfuckers up. I'm glad I started this dialogue, but let's put this in sheer numbers, man. I mean, are we fighting to get Colin Kaepernick a job, or we're fighting to change the system? You guys got to ask yourself that question, because if you're fighting to get Colin Kaepernick a job, the more noise we make, he'll be a third string quarterback, potentially a second string quarterback somewhere. And if that's your victory, if that is your victory, then make the most noise on social media, call the NFL, right? But if you want to change the NFL, if you want to change the NBA, then the players have to be held accountable. There's no way if Fred doesn't watch the NFL, if um, let's see, or let's say how many subscribers does we have collectively? Let's say we have 110,000 subscribers, 150,000 subscribers, and we all boycott the NFL. It doesn't do much. It doesn't do much. It doesn't do much in terms of the climate of the NFL. Where you need to hurt them is in the pocket. That's why the reason why the Montgomery bus boycott worked is because they were committed to not putting any money back in their pockets. All right. If you want to defeat the NFL, you have to take money out of their pockets. And you guys don't say, "Oh, we're taking money out of their pockets." We're um, um, we're not watching and we're not going. First of all, blacks en masse do not go to NFL football games, man. Keep in mind we're 10% of the population, and um, one major population is playing, and the other population is incarcerated, and the other population can't afford it. So they've told us they don't give a shit about our dollar because Colin Kaepernick still doesn't have a job. You guys understand where I'm coming from? It's not about what battle do you want to win the battle. I believe in winning. In a situation like this, you got to win the war. You know, you got to make a stand. You got to ask Richard Sherman not to show up week one. You got to ask Odell Beckham not to Odell Beckham. Yeah, Odell Beckham not to show up week one. All right, Ezekiel Elliott not to put that star helmet on if we want to win. All right. Now, if that doesn't happen, the conglomerate still exists. Racism still exists in the NFL. All right. The NFL doesn't need the black family's dollar. Do they want it? Sure, they don't need it to exist. If the motherfucker don't have a job, sheer numbers tells us that. All right. Now, but I'm glad I'm woken you guys up and start the dialogue, because I understand where you guys are coming from. Boycott the NFL by all means until Colin Kaepernick gets a job. It doesn't change anything if Colin Kaepernick gets a job. The only thing that changes is we feel satisfied, right? And I appreciate someone in the comment section bringing up the Golden Boy emails. It's not the same. Numbers are not the same. Numbers are simply not the same, because we are a primary influence in which happens to Golden Boy events. Our primary. All right. And I believe collectively, I'm totally appreciative to the LDBC, but the numbers are simply not the same. boxing is the fifth or sixth most favorite sport in uh, in America, and two, without the internet, boxing cannot exist in America. So we have a direct correlation, a direct pipeline until what happens in Golden Boy events. All right, we don't have a direct pipeline into what happens in the NFL. Now, I believe the ratings will dip, um, but it won't affect them because they're expanding. They'll just replace the black fans with European fans and Mexican fans. Remember, they're expanding. They're having games in Europe. They're having games in Mexico. Now, I understand. I believe in the butterfly effect as well. I've told you guys this in other videos. Everything matters. So, like I said, if you believe boycotting the NFL without the NFL player support, then you do it. I genuinely believe I don't hold any gripe against y'all at all. 0%. Uh, I would say, and you guys may be asking me, where do I stand on it? I'm probably right now 75-25 on not watching the NFL. Like for real, because I've digested all this information. But how do you feel going to a fight at a pizza joint on a Friday night and your best friend don't back you up? That's what it's like if the NFL players do not back you up on this. How more blatant can it be? This is a blatant racist situation. Now, Colin Kaepernick don't get a job. I don't doubt he'll get a job, one single bit. But you know what I'm hoping? I'm hoping um, if we have to lose Colin Kaepernick to win, we will win. And I don't mean lose as in like fatal, but I mean Colin Kaepernick is very comfortable with I believe, I don't know him, I shouldn't say that, but I would assume Colin Kaepernick is comfortable with creating this movement, right? I think there's some part of Colin Kaepernick that wants to play football because he's an athlete. I was an athlete, you know, and there's some part of him that wants to destroy the fabric of the NFL. And I believe he can do this if he doesn't get a job and the players start coming on board little by little. And that's my stance on it, man. And the NBA needs to find a way to voice their opinion. I believe it's essential. I think we need a Black Players Association, you know, similar to how 78 started the LDBC, you know what I mean, to create the separation. And I have a theory about integration. Maybe I'll do that in a separate video. But I genuinely believe we can't win without the players because of the money situation. The Montgomery bus boycott worked because there was because blacks the density in the black population was high. All right. If that was a northern state, it wouldn't have worked. All right. Now, if you want to dispute me on this, I mean, you're wasting your time. All right. The numbers showed. Do you think um, a, a, a reverend from Atlanta would go down to Montgomery to lose? No, to break their back. All right. And he knew that the numbers showed that they would win. All right. Now, there are some theories that Rosa Parks sat on the bus was uh, was on purpose because her husband held a high position in some organization, if I'm not mistaken. All right, I haven't been to college in 20 years, and but I that's what I believe. So some say it was staged, some say it happened organically. and Martin Luther King was assassinated because he woke up out of his dream. He realized that he wasn't getting any help. He realized they were pacifying. The government was pacifying Martin Luther King for a long time. Remember, the organizations he was going to, a lot of them was being funded by the government. All right. So, I mean, it was the silent third or fourth party, which was America. Like how America funded guns, how America funded the drugs in America. I'm going to expose that in my movie. It's gonna tie into so many different factors, and I need you guys to wake the fuck up. Wake the fuck up. We gotta fight to win. Stop fighting to make an impression. Stop fighting to be the loudest ethnic group in America. All right, this is bullshit, and it's imperative that we fully understand the importance that we have if we come together. Listen, if Frederick doesn't watch the NFL, it's not going to make a difference. It's going to make a difference, obviously, but it's not going to change how they do their business. I don't know how many times I can say that. All right, I totally wish I could help. I totally wish I could get you guys to fully understand where I'm coming from, man. But I don't think I am. I genuinely don't. Because I don't see how you can disagree with this video. Listen, the reason why there are 29, 28 white quarterbacks is proof enough that they don't give a fuck. All right. The reason why that there are more white head coaches in the NFL than black proves that they don't give a fuck. All right. Keep in mind, these owners are billionaires. When I say billionaires, I mean billionaires. To them, the NFL, owning an NFL team is like us owning a YouTube channel. You understand what I'm saying? We love it. However, we can live without it. You understand where I'm coming from? They didn't spend you can't spend your last dollar and own an NFL football team or an NBA franchise. All right. So, I wish I can get you guys to fully grasp the gravity of this, man. But, let's fight. Let's fight. I appreciate you calling me a coon. I appreciate saying Fred don't fully understand. Hey, I'm with all of that shit. But if we want to win, the balloon will run out of air. Trust me on this. Listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. If you're in a fight on Friday night at your local pizza joint and your best friend doesn't support you, what are you going to do? Is that your best friend? And your best friend is a parallel to the NFL football players. If they don't support Colin Kaepernick on this, man, that's deep for me. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm a rebel. I'm instinctively a fighter. Not with my fists so much, but with my brain and how I move. But the NFL that I know, the NFL that I know, and that I've seen for, I mean, 34, 30, 39, so maybe 35 years, will not be bothered if black people don't watch. Now, if they're actually, see, here's the trickle down effect, what I need you guys to understand. It's not the billionaire owners that's going to affect. It's going to affect the workers, the vendors, the advertisers. You know how many jobs it will affect if black athletes say we're not showing up? It's the same thing with the college athletes. It was a person that lost their scholarship because they couldn't use their likeness to garnish money. I mean, to get money on YouTube. What kind of funky bullshit is that? So I mean, They want total control of your talents, and we're allowing it. If Richard Sherman don't show up alongside Spike Lee, what are you fighting for? Are you fighting for Colin Kaepernick? You can argue that you're fighting for Colin Kaepernick to get a job, and that's a fair point to fight, for sure, 100% fair. And if you want to change the NFL, we need NFL players. So if Colin Kaepernick gets a job, that should be applauded. However, it doesn't change how the NFL operates. All right? Those 32 white owners will still have the same ideals. So, anyways, man, starting off your Friday, have a great Friday. Start your weekend off awesome. And I'm glad. You know what? I'm glad people are upset at me about this video because it's getting them to think about the bigger picture. The bigger picture. All right? And I genuinely love it. You know what I mean? But like I said, I'm 75-25. I haven't watched the NFL game. I haven't watched the preseason game yet. And preseason means nothing to me. So I guess you can say I'm boycotting NFL because I would have watched the games last night for real. Like it, but I chose not to watch them. But huh, I totally wish, and I would have loved. You know what? Maybe Town and I should do a video on this since we talk often, and I need to hear the other's perspective. So you guys can see the differences of opinion because I know Town is gun ho gonna boycott the NFL. That's how he rolls. And but with me adding this argument, will it change the vernacular of others in the LDBC and others on YouTube? And because I'm trying to win. I try and I want to see y'all want to make chess moves. I want to own a chessboard. You know what I mean? You guys want to make checker moves. I want to own the checkerboard. And that's how I've been, especially in my 30s. In my 20s, maybe not. But in my 30s, every move I make is pure venom. Is real. All right. And you guys need to follow me on Instagram because if I genuinely believe if you guys follow me on Instagram, we can get this momentum going because I know I'm going to get a strike in the next 4 to 6 months and I won't be able to go live and, get my message out as fast as I want to get it out. And Instagram allows me to get the message out much, much faster. There's so much editing on this YouTube channel that, I mean, that is, I can't get it out fast enough. One man doing everything is hard, especially when you got, and a lot of times when I do the boxing events, sometimes I don't rush because I got 15 other YouTube channels in front of me and I know they already put it out and I know many of you guys subscribe to their channels. So I say, I'll just wait, you know what I mean? But moreover, more important than that, my channel's gonna move the culture. My channel will move the culture, and I don't have no doubt, and that's what I want. And uh, you know, hashtag we are one. You know what I'm saying? Like I genuinely love the fact that y'all. I woke up when I saw them comments this morning. I told I read you guys comments. I mean, I don't have I have very few videos that get like 200 comments where it's hard to read all of them. But I was inspired. I was genuinely inspired when I read you guys' comments, and I was like, yes, I'm starting a conversation. Someone has to start this conversation, right? The butterfly effect. A guy with 10,000 subs, right? Maybe can start this conversation. So, anyways, man, uh, and enjoy your Friday, and think about don't knee jerk react. If you're gonna say Fred is a coon, I need you guys to say it with evidences. I you can't use the Golden Boy as a parallel because the numbers are shared different, and we are a direct pipeline to what happens at Golden Boy. Remember, if we don't talk about Golden Boy on ESPN, a lot of you guys will not even think about it, right? If we don't talk about Toe to Toe Tuesdays on PBC, a lot of you guys will forget about it. All right, we're the direct pipeline to what happens in boxing. If I do a video, I know somebody in that camp will watch the video, whether it has 500 or 5,000. I 100% believe, I should say believe, that it will get to where it needs to be. So anyways, man, enjoy your Friday, as I said for the third or fourth time. And I'm glad we're starting this conversation. All right. And I'll leave you with this. If you are at the pizza parlor and you get into a fight with 4 gang members and your 3 friends do not support you and watch you get jumped, are they your best friends? Do the black NFL players even truly care? We got Odell Beckham dancing in the locker room having a great time. Shouldn't he expend that energy talking to Fox and ESPN and Fox Sports and telling you that, hey, we got to stand up? Anyway, that's another. I'm sorry. That's why I don't take shit from white people. For real, I don't take no shit from white people. I'll give you guys an example. I'm with Hoop Jab last summer. I'm covering the Drew League, and a motherfucker tried to block me from doing video. But he don't know I know everybody at the Drew League, like all the NBA players, all the people in charge. And I went to go video, right? This motherfucker I said, don't you ever put your fucking hands on me. This motherfucker was 6'7", 260 pounds. I don't allow white men to put their hands on me. And I said this to his face, don't you ever touch me. That's not acceptable in my life. That's unacceptable. And I'm standing alongside Neil at Hoop Jab. I said, Neil, I don't give a fuck who he is. I don't give a fuck. No white man will ever be able to put his hands on me and dictate my terms. Period. End of discussion. I don't give a fuck. And that's the mentality Odell Beckham has to have. That's the mentality that Richard Sherman has to have. And odds are I probably would have lost that fight, but I would have made my point. I would have literally made my point. That's how it's going down. And I know I'm genuinely a pacifist, but I don't let white people redirect me. 0%. I'll smile in their face to get to where I should be. But I don't smile in their face so they can dictate my terms. Do you guys understand where I'm coming from? And now I'm getting riled up now because so many of us allow white men to dictate our terms. We have to assimilate to be successful. I understand that. But when a motherfucker want to dictate your terms and tell you where and when and what you should wear, and you become voiceless and powerless, that's what our black NFL players are. They're becoming voiceless and powerless, and they have all the money and all the influence in our community, in our black, I'm not going to use brown in this video, our black communities. All right? Now that's what we should be fighting for, to get our power back. So, woosah. But yeah, hashtag we are one, man. We are genuinely one, man. I appreciate the people who get to the end of this video, man, because, at the end of the day, I got love for all of us. You know what I mean? And I want all of us to win. And so let's have this conversation. I don't mind having this conversation to the day we die. It's going to expand into other types of topics, but this conversation needs to be had. Our black population needs to co-join hands and move forward. It can't happen without the NFL players. All right? If Fred and my son don't watch the NFL, that's fine. I could think of something else to do. I can go play basketball. You know what I mean? Sunday night football is where it's really going to hurt. When I come home from my day, from taking my son to visit grandma, taking my son to go, Sunday night football is where, literally, I get home 5, 6 o'clock. That shit going to hurt. I'm just being 100, guys. Like, I love Chris Collinsworth, man. That's a hell of a tandem they got. He be talking mad shit. And there's nothing else that matters to me from September to February. I mean, in terms of watching TV, it's football and boxing. And basketball comes back, but I really don't conform to basketball until after the holiday season. So, anyways, man, don't let white people dictate your terms. This is gonna be a separate video, and I'm gonna talk about that incident I had with Neil from Hoop Chat. What up, Neil? I bet Neil was like, "Damn, nigga, Fred don't give a fuck." And you can ask any and just to take this step, you can ask any media member with a major channel. Any media member with a major YouTube channel will tell you, Fred don't give a fuck. You guys understand? Listen, I am fearless, and I don't have fuck you money, but I know my hustle can make enough to feed my son. No matter what, if I gotta collect cans, I gotta cut grass, as you guys can hear, or if I gotta fucking sell my assets, I know I can make $2,000 to $3,000 a month hustling my ass off. I will bet on myself 10 out of 10 times, 100 out of 100 times, and that's the mentality we gotta have. You know, I respect my niggas on Crenshaw and Slauson selling the shirts. I respect them 100%, 100%. I respect that lady down the street selling her pies. I respect the hustle. You'll never hear Fred like when I'm walking down the street. Why? And I always stop people and help them understand. A lot of our brothers and our sisters that are on the corners is because they have a strike. They're on parole. You know, they can't really get a traditional job. So they become entrepreneurs. And we should all respect that. You know? Check the trap before you check them all. You know what I'm saying? I fall short of that too. I go to H&M and get my $3 shirts, $5 shirts. You know. So, anyways, man, enjoy your Friday. Let's get this work, and find if your three best friends don't join you in on the fight that you have at the Pizza Parlor on Friday night, are they your best friend? Do they have your best interests in mind? You walking home with two black eyes and a broken nose because four gang members beat you up and your three best friends didn't help. Anyways, man, barbershop conversation. I'm going. Peace.